What's going on, sports fans, Giants fans, NFL football fans? Welcome back to another episode of G Nation Inside Sports. And today I want to talk to you guys about a very specific approach for the New York football Giants. But before we get into that, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Um, Trying to grow my channel and build something here. Uh, Constantly going live, bringing you updates and all that, roster moves, things of that nature, the fight game, Leather to the Face podcast, True Big Blue podcast, and the Knuckle game. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, but let's get right into it. As we all know, the New York Giants cleaned house. Gettleman retired, Joe Judge fired, and along with that means Patrick Graham is probably gone, Russ Callaway, Freddie Kitchens, all them guys are gone. Okay, complete rebuild mode. Now I've heard a lot of guys talking about trading players, cutting players, getting rid of players on streams and on analysts and on the news, and uh, people just overreact and go overboard. And regardless of what you may think of Joe Judge, what your opinion of him is, uh, whether you like the guy or didn't like the guy, there were a few things that he said in some of his post game interviews. Excuse me, they weren't that far off. Now I'm not saying, oh, why'd you fire Joe Judge? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when he said this team is a lot closer to being where we want to go than they are further away from it, there was a lot of truth to that statement. As we all know, the biggest need, priority number one, okay, in this rebuild right here, should not be going to get a quarterback. Regardless of your opinion of Daniel Jones, our first priority right now should not be looking for a quarterback. First of all, this QB draft class coming up, not impressive. Okay. Second of all, the most pressing issue on this entire team is the offensive line. Period. Bar none. Hands down. Okay. This offensive line is trash, with the exception of the one functioning offensive lineman that we have, which is Andrew Thomas. Our line is trash. We couldn't keep Daniel upright. We couldn't block and create gaps for Saquon Barkley. Uh, Nate Solder was getting pancaked out there left and right. His new nickname is IHOP, International House of Pancakes. Danny Shelton on the defense, his new nickname is Denny's, as much as he was getting pancaked out there. And Will Hernandez is the Waffle House, as much as he was getting pancaked out there. So I don't even want to hear about none of that stuff. Bredesen, Skura, Pert, all trash. I don't give a damn who don't like it. Every last one of them is trash. Okay? So square one, priority number one, we need to go out and fix this offensive line. Okay? Daniel Jones has played 3 years of football with the New York Football Giants in the NFL. Okay? You can exercise his fourth year, all right, and use our first two first round picks to get an offensive lineman, okay, with both of them. You can get a decent edge rusher in the second round, or even, okay, this is what I would do. We're picking 5 and we're picking 7, right? I would get the best available offensive lineman with pick 5. If that was Evan Neal, Lord, please. If it was Evan Neal, Evan Neal. If it's Linderbaum, Linderbaum. If it's a Kemaquanu, Kemaquanu. One of those three guys needs to be our first pick. Okay? With our number 7 pick, I wouldn't mind trading back a few spots. Nothing major, not like trading back out of the first round, but maybe trading back from 7 to like 10 or 12. Okay? To move up from the number 12 spot to the number 7 spot would ensure that we get a first round pick next draft. Okay? And we still wouldn't be too far off to go get a second hard hitting solid, reputable offensive lineman early, mid first round. Okay, which would give us two solid offensive linemen in the first round, another first round pick for the upcoming draft, okay, and possibly another second round pick in this draft, okay. So with that, I would get an edge rusher and a defensive tackle, and probably two more offensive linemen. Mind you, we have 10 picks, and if we traded back, we'd have 11 picks this season. Okay, so we can, with 11 picks, we can get four linemen in the first and second round. Okay, now that would create a foundation. All right, I hear people talking about trading Barkley and all of this stuff. Now, as the new GM walking into this building, okay, would you want your legacy to be coming into the New York Giants establishment organization and trading away the most beloved player on this team, the guy with the most potential to be the stud of this team? Yeah, he had an injury. Yeah, he's had some setbacks. But in his defense, the kid never had an offensive line since he's been in the NFL. Same thing can be said for Daniel Jones. Okay. Um, has Saquon been healthy this whole time? No. But have we given him a line that protected him to ensure that his health would be a little better? No. And neither has Daniel Jones. So priority number one has to be rebuilding the offensive line, adding a few pieces on the defensive trenches, and then get your other players. Because, like I said, what Joe Judge said in that press conference wasn't too far off. We are not a complete bust. We don't have 53 bums on this team. Okay, we have Kadarius Toney, we have Evan Engram, we have Kenny Galladay, we have Saquon Barkley, you have a slowed up version of Kyle Rudolph, but he still has a high football IQ. Uh, I mean, we have some pieces here that we can build with. We have Azeez Ojulari, who got 10 sacks in his rookie season. Phenomenal. Ellison Smith might be a project, but he can turn out to be a stud. Quincy Roche. Uh, I mean, the list goes on and on. We have some players here. If Blake Martinez comes back healthy, we already know what he is. That guy's a tackle machine. He's everywhere where the ball is, every time. So we have pieces that we can build with. Priority number one needs to be hiring the right staff. The GM that comes in here needs to bring the right head coach in, the right offensive coordinator, and all the right pieces to teach, train, and build a new culture in this building. Okay, that's one. Two, rebuild the offensive line. Give these guys some protection. Daniel Jones can be a much better quarterback than what we've seen if you give him some protection. Okay, stop trying to make him an RPO quarterback. Make him a pocket passer. Teach him how to have some pocket awareness. Okay, and move up and down and side to side in that pocket to buy himself some time, so that the wide receivers can run their routes can develop, and he can go through his progressions and find the open man. Okay, priority number one, again, I can't stress it enough, has to be rebuilding the offensive line, adding a few pieces in the defensive trenches, and then add your depth and your star players here and there. But that has to come through the draft. Our salary cap is hit, so we can't go signing free agent players. All right, you build your team through the draft, and then you fill spots through free agency. Okay, so that's just my opinion, guys. Priority number one is offensive line. You don't go for a quarterback in this draft class. You go and you rebuild this offensive line, and you see what you have in Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley with a decent offensive line. Then you can get a solid beat on if these guys are going to be consistent playmakers, if they're the guys for this team. All right. After that, like I said, with that one trade back, you acquire another first round pick for the upcoming draft. Okay. If Daniel Jones falls on his face and he proves to be a bust, now you have two first round picks to go get your quarterback in the following draft. Not 2022 draft, 2023 draft. If 2022 season is a failure, Daniel Jones falls on his face after we rebuild the offensive line, now you have 2 first-round picks in the 2023 draft to move up and get the quarterback that you need with a foundation already in place. Because that's the mistake we made when we drafted Daniel Jones. That's the mistake we made for the last couple seasons that Eli was here. We did not fix the offensive line. Every time this man said hike, somebody was in his face. Ereck Flowers. All right? Same thing when Daniel Jones came here. You fix the offensive line. You give these guys some time to develop. All right? Your quarterback play increases. Your running back play increases. Your tight end, your wide receiver, everything. It's like boxing, right? You put your combinations together. You don't run up to your opponent and start throwing combos. No, everything works off the jab. Everything works off the jab. You set it up, right? You jab. You keep the jab in his face. It obstructs his vision. It keeps his head moving back. He can't really plant his feet. He can't get settled and get his strategy implemented. Okay? You keep that jab in his face. Keep him disoriented, and you keep putting on the leather. You keep putting it where you need it to be. Same concept applies. You build this offensive line, okay? You build that foundation, and then you go get the quarterback with the team already in a position to move forward and win. Okay, I believe that Daniel Jones might not be a great quarterback. Is he the worst quarterback? No. Is he Glennon? Hell no. Is he Fromm? Hell no. You put some pieces in front of this kid that block, okay, and you give him some time to find his progressions and hit the open man. Same thing for Barkley. You put a blocking line in front of him, and he will have a phenomenal season. So there you have it, folks. That's my next steps for the Giants organization and the team's number one priority. Next step is get a good GM, all right, a proven head coach, not no freaking project, not no first-time head coach, not no unproven head coach. I want a coach who's built a program before, not a coach who's worked under some good guys. I want a coach who's built a program before. So whatever GM you bring in here, he better bring a proven coach in here. That's step number one. After that, acquire the rest of your training staff, coaching staff, and all that accordingly. Guys that are proven. And then build this offensive line in this draft. And watch and see how this team can turn it around in one season. If you do it right, get the right GM in here, bring a proven coach in here, and then build this offensive line through the draft. And I guarantee you, we can be over 500 this coming season. But as always, G Nation, until next time, sack that subscribe button, tackle that thumbs up button, leave your comments, thoughts, opinions, and ideas in the comment section for me, because that helps out with the YouTube algorithm more than you know. Commenting really helps, even if it's just a fire emoji or a thumbs up. All those comments in the comment section really help. Comment, like, subscribe, and share if you can. As always, G Nation, until next time.